welcome back to Bookish Blonde. So today for you, I have the mid-year book freakout tag. So when you're seeing this, it's the middle of June, the middle of the year, and I thought that this would be a fun way to just kind of talk about how the year's been going, maybe what I'm looking forward to for the second half of the year. I believe I found the original creator of these questions of the mid-year book freakout tag. I'm going to put that down in the description below. So I think that's who originally created it. If I'm wrong, I apologize. If anyone knows, please correct me. But that's as far back as I could find. So let's get started. Okay, so the first question is the best book of 2024 so far this year. And this one was kind of hard. I was kind of torn between three different ones, but I came up with The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. This is obviously a 5-star read. This was such a good read, you guys. Historical fiction at its finest. Only my second book by Ariel Lawhon, but I have 2 more on my shelves, and now I'm anxious to pick her up more frequently. In this one, we are following real-life midwife and healer Martha Ballard. It takes place in Maine in 1789. I won't go into too much detail because I've talked about this before, but this has a mystery in it as well. Characters that you'll never forget. This was such a good book. The author's note at the end of this was amazing as well. So check that out if you haven't already. It'll be interesting to see if this is my favorite book of 2024, but so far it is. So the second question is the best sequel that I've read this year. Now, really, this is the only one I think I've read, so that was easy, and it was good. It was not 5 stars, it was 4.5 stars, but that's The Housemaid's Secret by Freida McFadden. I just recently talked about this as well. This was a great sequel. I was engaged from page 1 to the end. There was a little bit slower than The Housemaid, a little bit, but really that didn't deter my enjoyment of it. But it was really good, lots of twists and turns, and I really like everything she writes. Freida McFadden she's a good beach read. She's a quick read. She'll keep your interest, keep your jaw dropping with twists and turns, so that's a good one. All right, question 3 is a new release that I haven't read yet, but that I want to, and that one was easy for me. I'm hoping to read that this month or next month, and that's Funny Story by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is a go-to author for me, which y'all know. This is a romance. We have a couple here on the cover. Let's see, what are their names? I forget already. Daphne and Peter. So Daphne and Peter, they're in love. They decide to go home to Peter's hometown. Once they settle in there, Peter realizes he's in love with his childhood best friend. So now she has to find a place to live. She finds a roommate, and it is his childhood best friend's ex as well. So they fake date. You have the fake dating trope. It's Emily Henry though, so you're gonna get some substance. You're gonna probably laugh out loud. There's gonna be a lot of banter in here as well. I'll probably find myself smiling as I read it, and it's a love story, so I'm guessing they fall in love, but we shall see. So that is the answer to number 3, the new release that I'm excited about that have not gotten to yet. Next question number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of 2024. Obviously, I don't have this yet, but I am most excited about Worst Case Scenario by TJ Newman. I just know I'm going to devour this book. I read Drowning by her. It was 5 stars. I read it in one sitting. I have Falling here too on my shelf somewhere. Right here. I'm Falling right there too to read. So that's what I'm looking forward to for the second half. It's one of them. Okay, question number 5, biggest disappointment. Well, if you've been watching my channel, you probably know this already, but so far this year, the biggest disappointment for me was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Posten. You guys know this was so hyped and overrated to me, so I really did not enjoy it. I was so disappointed and let down by this one. It didn't give me anything I was looking for. And I'm definitely an unpopular opinion, which I've said before, but this was just a huge disappointment. So The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Posten. Next question, biggest surprise of the year. And that was an easy one for me. That by far was The Martian by Andy Weir. This was a surprise for me because I don't normally read science fiction. I don't really like movies about space kind of freaks me out. So although this, you know, has been made into a movie and is loved by almost everyone, I've actually never heard a bad review about this book. I still was surprised I loved it as much as I did. This was so good. There's a mission to Mars. They leave him there thinking he's dead. He's not. He has to survive on Mars. This will make you laugh. This will make you cry. It didn't get too bogged down by the sciencey talk or terminology. Like, I was still able to follow it, even though sometimes I was like, okay, whatever you say, Mark. But yeah, so this was really good and definitely was a nice surprise. All right, number 7, favorite new author or new to you author. And for me, that was Amy Tintera, Listen for the Lie. I listened to that one on audio for my library. I don't own a physical copy. I would love to get a copy of that on my shelves. This was such a nice surprise. It actually was my first 5-star thriller of 2024, and this was just so well done, and I can't wait to see what else, what else she comes out with. So this one had a podcast element, which is what made me decide to listen to it versus reading it with my eyeballs, but it was so good, so entertaining. I really liked the friendship in here. I loved both timelines. The mystery unraveled at such a perfect pace. It was just so well done. So that was a really, really exciting read for me. I can't wait to pick up, like I said, the next thing that she writes. So there's that one. Okay. Number 8 is your newest fictional crush. Now, you guys, I thought about this one and thought about this one. I don't really get crushes. I don't know if it's because of my age, but I mean, I really couldn't come up with anything. So that one, I mean, maybe Beckett from The Last Letter, but I don't really have a crush on him. I just really like the male character in that, his male lead in that story. But I wouldn't call it a crush. So that was a kind of hard one for me to answer. Newest favorite character, that is Mark Whatney in The Martian. Was rooting so much for Mark. He made me laugh. You just connected, and you were feeling for him so much, and that he is my new favorite fictional character. Book that made me cry, Back to the Last Letter, you guys, by Rebecca Yarros. I ugly cried at the end of this one. This one will break your heart. I dare you to read this and not cry. I don't think it's humanly possible to keep it together while you read this book. It was so good. This was also one of my ones that I had a tough decision. This was but for my favorite of the year, this was definitely a contender. This was really good. Please pick this up if you haven't read it already. Loved it. Loved. Okay. Book that made me happy. I kind of already talked about Listen for the Lie. That made me happy because, like I said, it was my first 5-star thriller of 2024, so I was happy about that. But to give you a different book, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, I mean, this cover makes me happy. The story made me happy. Whenever I have a new Abby Jimenez book to devour, I'm happy. So this by far was easy to answer that question. What's the next one? Number 12, we have 2 more questions. There's 13 questions. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you have bought this year. I'm going to go with 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland. I'm actually currently reading this one right now. The dust jacket isn't necessarily that special to me or beautiful to me, but I want to show you guys, I think I've shown this already once on my channel, but the naked cover of this book has gold foiling. It's just beautiful. You have these sprayed edges in this edition, which I'm obsessed with. I love it. I love sprayed edges. The end pages have illustrations as well. And so I'm going with this one for the most beautiful book that I have bought so far in 2024. And then the last question is, well, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, all of the ones you see behind me. I feel like to answer this question, I really would love to read the rest of Abby Jimenez's backlist. I think I have 3 books by her I need to read. So I would love to get those done so I can do like a ranking video for you guys. I also would really love to finish the Harry Potter series. I read the first Harry Potter like the year it came out, years and years ago, right? And I still haven't read books 6 and 7, so that would also help me accomplish my series goal that I set out for myself for 2024. So I really kind of want to make that a priority, to read number 6, which is The Half-Blood Prince, and number 7, which is I think Deathly Hallows or something like that. So, and then the last little part of this question is I really want to read this year. I'm intimidated by its size. But I really want to, I'm curious to see what I think about this, and I want to read it so I know if I need to collect books 2 and 3 in hardcover before you can't get them very easily anymore, that kind of thing. So this is another answer to those questions, or to that last question. So there you have it. That is the end of my 2024 mid-year book freakout tag. I had so much fun answering these questions. Thank you again to the original creator. And if you are watching this and you have a channel, consider yourself tagged if you'd like to do it. It was a real fun one. I plan on probably doing this every year if I can. The questions will be listed down in the description below, and I will put my answers to those as well for you guys. And thanks again for taking time out of your busy day to watch my video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy reading. Bye.